rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed, and each wants to prove that it's no fluke. The Bills are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Giants, who will need to find a way to move the football. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Carry here for Orleans Darkwa. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him, because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
2nd down, 8. Now back to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Quickly now, a look at the Buffalo defense.
Stephon Gilmore gets better and better every year, continues to excel in pass coverage.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle to Beckham. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Fielded at the 20. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down to Taylor. And he can't get away from the pressure the Giants get there. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Let's go! On 2nd down, Taylor. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On third down, Taylor. And incomplete here on third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Here's Darkwa. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll run again now with Darkwa. And he stopped immediately there. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver. And now it's 4th down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Now it's Taylor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And so often we talk about electric playmakers as we look at the offense here. Sammy Watkins, he's an electric playmaker.
Love the word you used. Electric indeed. Dynamic. And this guy makes plays and opens the game up.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down.
Let's go. What? 90. Flex round. Flex round.
Here's Taylor to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. A look now at the starters defensively for the New York Giants.
Let's start with Eli Apple out of Ohio State. And when you get picked number 10 in the draft, big things are expected out of you. I would dare say that they do expect that, but they also understand that they believe that his best football is ahead of him. Plenty of room for growth. A tremendous athlete.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Now Taylor.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen. Shake it off.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now Darkwa. And an alley to run. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there for the Giants. 65 yards on the ground. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. On the run, Darkwa. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
8 yards to go here on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Taylor. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. to throw again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to fourth down.
The dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
Come on, let's go.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
All right, here we go. Green. Gun.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, this place has notoriously never been kind to visiting field goal kickers. You get those wins that really whip through the inner bowl. Not to mention the urban legends about stadium workers opening and closing the tunnel doors. But for whatever reason, this one winds up off target.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space. No gain. And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here we go! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Watkins alone on the left side. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
Let's go!
Throwing again, it's Taylor. This will be caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Darren Waller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They come out here in the eye.
Here we go! Leopard!
He'll try again with the arm here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adolphus Washington in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's fielded at the 45. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still...
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Let's see, the defense might bring some added pressure as the offense is dealing with a 3rd and long.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Now this is picked up by the Bills.
That's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll get 32 yards there, and it'll be a Buffalo 1st down.
A well-executed screen pass means the offensive line has bluffed the defenders. They make them think that they can just get through and get to the quarterback. Instead, they're setting them up. Little screen pass, lopped it over them, and now they're in front, and they get downfield for big yardage when they do it right.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. Again, we'll see the pistol here. 3rd and long, it's Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They go play action here on 1st down. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle to Beckham. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And quickly they get to the line. Now back to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Good! Here we go. 3-19. Watching that, Barney.
They'll look to throw again. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bills' offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Caught, right side, it's Lewis. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Really good job by the offense there. Every second counts right now. So for them to get out of bounds and save some time, that's a nice move.
Final play of the half, it's Taylor. Surveying the field. He's going to look deep down. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
It's in the game.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
Come on, let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on third.
Ohio!
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Taylor hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part 2 of the screen, he forgot part 1. Couldn't get the ball. 10 yards to go on 3rd. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. 41 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They'll run with Darkwa. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Orleans Darkwa, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. And the lead is down to 2. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Bills. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Watkins alone on the left side. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because
he's got it at the 15. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 58 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And on 2nd and 10 now. He'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete right around the 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Orleans Darkwa with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. And he knocks it through. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Let's go!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. Now they'll throw with Taylor. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The ball comes out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Taylor to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And New York set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, Every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Second down following the run.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. They find some open field here. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Defense showing blitz.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back now in Buffalo. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They go play action here on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and that'll bring up second down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
Green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Brad Wing now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
On first down, it's Taylor. On the move to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Back to throw now on first down. Going up top. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Got a throw right sideline is complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Caught left side. It's Beckham. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
In the red zone this time. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
They come up in an offset eye. And they give this time to the tailback. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL, but we'll make some plays against you.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. He'll look to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that play is a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
The play clock's running down.
Now, Jack Patriot!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bills are going to get the football back. And now out come the Bills. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is the only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Watkins alone on the left side. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked.
Okay, you know my bias is about to...
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense.
Let's go!
3rd and long, it's Taylor. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Philly, here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And if the defense can hold here, this ball game is over.
And they're thinking more than just holding. They're thinking about a takeaway to finish things off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bills getting set to go. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now. Just salt it away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Now it's 2nd and 7.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well.